And since we're talking about old stories, did you know that the Chi Minh City was once called Saigon? New York was called New Amsterdam. Cities have been named and renamed numerous times in history, sometimes to suit the colonizers' tongue and sometimes to suit the ruling party's politics. Here's the latest in that series. South Africa has renamed the city of Port Elizabeth. Authorities say they want the city's name to reflect local culture, local language and heritage. Some people protested. The authorities refused to oblige. Our next report takes you back in history where some of our most popular global cities had different names.
When Juliet said, "What's in a name?" she totally discounted history. We will show you why. Recognize this country? India has long had a cultural influence in Singapore. That explains why the country gets its name from Sanskrit, Simhapura, meaning the castle of lions. Look at the United States. In its south, you have Spanish names: San Antonio, Santa Fe, San Diego. In Central America, you have French names: St. Louis, Louisiana. These names reflect historical influences. History tells us that South Africa was once a British colony. That's why the country has cities with English names. For example, Port Elizabeth. The airport of East London is not in London, but in South Africa. It's there that you also have the city of King Williamstown. But send a letter to that address and you are likely to have it returned to your mailbox. For the city of King Williamstown no longer exists. It is now Konse. The government of President Cyril Ramaphosa is on a renaming spree. It is trying to accelerate away from the shadows of the colonial past and is leaving behind English names. Port Elizabeth has now become Kobera. Uitenhage is Kariga. Not everyone in South Africa is happy. Some 13,000 objections were sent to the authorities. All of them are being rejected.
23rd of February 2021, the department gazetted 23 names that Minister Matetwa had approved on geographical name changes in the Eastern Cape, including the renaming of Port Elizabeth to Gqeberha. In the latest statement issued by the minister, he has reiterated that one of the main purposes of the South African Geographical Names Council Act, gazetted in 1998, is to transform South Africa and ensure that names of these places in the country reflect the languages, culture and heritage of the majority of the people in this country.
What about history? The issue is political and a tricky one across the world. Look at India. All major Indian port cities have been renamed in the last 70 years. Bombay has become Mumbai. Panjim has become Panaji. Trivandrum is Tiruvananthapuram. On the other side of the coast, Madras is Chennai. Pondicherry has become Puducherry. Vizag is now Vishakhapatnam. And Kolkata is Kolkata. What led to the rechristening? India's reasons are almost the same as South Africa's. In some cases, like Tiruvananthapuram and Kolkata, the names have been restored to what they were called in the British era. The colonial masters renamed the cities to suit their tongue. And now parties in power are renaming them to suit their politics. In 2018, the city of Allahabad in India's heartland was renamed Prayagraj. Prayag was the city it was called before Akbar named it Allahabad, or the abode of God, in 1575. 2 years ago, the government of West Bengal wanted to change the name of the state to Bangla. The government was unhappy that it figured at the bottom of every discussion owing to its name beginning with the letter W. Bangla with the B was to boost its position alphabetically. Place it fourth on the list of Indian states. That proposal was rejected. Our cities and their history have been caught in politics. And this tug of war is an old game. The Vietnamese city of Ho Chi Minh was originally Saigon. That's what the French called it after it took over in 1859. In 1976, with the change of hands, the city junked its colonial name. When the Dutch surrendered the colony of New Amsterdam to the English in 1664, they named it New York. Istanbul makes for an interesting example. It has numerous historical names: Byzantium, Augusta Antonina, New Rome, Constantinople, Constantinaia. Each name reflects the empire or the ruler that ruled the city. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.